Hey, good morning, everyone. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It's not quite lunchtime, and it is the 18th of March, 2021. This is my third update in a row this week. Um, we've done really well. We've done really well. Good morning, Todd. And so I'd like to give an update on the S&P, give an update on Nasdaq, give an update on Bitcoin. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. And as always, this is just my opinion on the market. If you need access to our Discord server, there is a link in the video description. There is a link up on your screen, and we'd be more than happy to have you as part of our community. We're also looking and opening up an options room here in the next week or two, kind of getting back into that realm. Our Insured Plus has kind of been working on something in the background, and it's about ready to launch. So anyway, stay tuned for that, and let's go ahead and get into the charts. All right, so I'm taking a look here at Bitcoin first. Just a couple things to note. This has done reasonably well. What we were looking at this yesterday and the day before and the day before that. We were taking a look at this. When we were down here in this price range, I was like, yeah, we need to be buying here. And actually, we had an entry right about here. It was at 53,649, which was on Bybit. So those prices are a little bit different than what we've got here on spot prices, but it was right around here where I've got my crosshair, which is about 53,550. That worked out really, really well. We had good upside, got a pullback. I did exit this trade down here. That was kind of my mistake. I shouldn't have done that, but nonetheless, that worked out pretty well. Home Fitness with the chat spam. Thanks, buddy. All right. Well, anyway, so we had that move up. We had the pullback, and as we were discussing yesterday, I was like, this pullback, and it was actually during the video, I missed this trade because I was doing this video update. That's okay. No big deal. We had this push down. I wanted to get down here close to this 786, and this is all the way over here on the right. I hope you guys can see it right there, about 54,100, and we almost tagged that perfectly. So that worked out pretty well. So if there was anybody that did take that trade right down here, that worked out really, really well. Well, at any rate, we had a good move up, and now we're seeing a pullback. But now, if you take a look at this, I'm going to go down to a 15-minute time frame. We're just going to kind of dig into this here for a moment because this really looks pretty darn good, if you ask me. So what I see here is a 1 and a 2, right? And then from this 1, 2, you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here into wave 3. And then you see this long correction came right down to this 382. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this guy because he's already come and gone. The one thing that's going to be kind of important there, actually it's not important anymore. I'm going to remove it just to clean things up, So what I've done here, and let me move this over so you guys can all see this, I'm measuring from the bottom of wave 2, and then I'm measuring to the top of wave 3. You can see I've tagged the top right there. And then what do we have? I mean, here we are, perfection, yet again, right here at the 382, right? I mean, we were within, pennies of hitting that 382. Are we going to go back down there? I mean, it's very possible that we go back down there. It's very possible we come back down here to that 382, but it looks really, really great. So what's our upside target? Well, our upside target is going to be up here at about 60,859. Are we going to push up through that? I mean, I really doubt it. I mean, I feel pretty good. We're just basically, we've just basically entered this trade within, I don't know, maybe the last hour and a half. We just entered this trade. So it's a fresh trade. It's a new trade. But I'm also taking a look at this from the perspective that we could be going down. So I've got my red count here where we've got basically the completion of an ABC to going into wave B. And now we're working on, 5 waves down, which means we've got this A right here going down for the B, then we go up for wave C, which would be wave 2. All right, so let's do this. We're going to measure from the top up here, right there. We're going to measure to the bottom right there, okay? And I'm going to put a couple pieces on there. And let's remove this and this and this. Let's put the 786 on here. Let's also put the 887 on here. I'm going to remove my extensions, and I'm focusing on the internal retracement only at this time. So I've got my 786, which is right here at 59,840. We're going to be looking right. How high is this going to go? But that 887, that is sitting right there at 60,750, and the negative 236 extension to the upside is at 60,860. So I think this is more than likely where this is going to be going. So the wave 4 is a 5-wave down. Okay, so I'm looking at this as we came down for wave 2 really quickly, and then wave 4 did take a longer period of time. So with alternation taken into account, had a really quick wave 2, we have a longer wave 4. So the first cycle was short, the second cycle is long. So that's what I'm seeing here. But it could be just a wave A down here one way or another. Maybe we have kind of a flat here, something along those lines. But I believe that this 382 pullback is pretty good. At any rate, I think we're going to see this price move up to about 60,000. What's our level of invalidation? Our level of invalidation is going to be horizontal array right here. This is going to be our level of invalidation. So if you're in this trade, this is your invalidation level, which is going to be at about 57,198. That's going to be my level that we really need to keep. We need to keep this. If we break down below that, I'm probably going to cut this, and I'll be looking actually for a short. I still think we're going to get up here. I think we're going to get above 60,000. So I'm still bullish right now. I still think that this pullback to 382 is good, regardless of what the count is. I could pull Z to complete this, although it's not ideal. So let me just put this on here. So potentially W, X, Y, X, Z to complete this down here, finish that move. I think that the entry was good. We're already in this trade, and I'm looking for this to go up to just above 60,000, maybe here. Still looking at this 887. We got to get through the 786, which is at 59,840. So maybe we get a truncation on the 5th. But still looking, this upside target is still sitting up here, which would be good. So I'll be looking to layer out of my position once we get above 59,800, and once we get up there, I think that's going to be kind of where things are going to be kind of slowing down. All right, anyway, let's keep on going. Let's take a look at the S&P. And if there's anything that you want me to take a look at, just let me know, and be more than happy to take a look at those. All right, so we've got some old stuff here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this guy right here. So I'm going to change this, and I'm going to be measuring this corrective move here. I want to determine whether or not we're done correcting, because we came down pretty far. You have to admit, we did come down pretty far. But are we done correcting? And it looks like we are. Okay, so we take a look at this kind of stuff quite a bit, and potentially an expanded flat. So an expansion, because we go down here to the bottom, we go up here to the top. That's our expansion to the upside. It was also at the top of the channel. And then we come down here. We got that 100%. We didn't close a 15-minute candle even below this 100%. So yeah, I think the correction here is done. I think we're going to see ourselves go back up, right? We've been talking about this coming all the way up here to just on this side of 4,000. Very likely it does that. In my opinion, right, and I was talking about this on the Discord earlier, 4,000 on the S&P is the equivalent of 60,000 on Bitcoin right now. Those are the levels that we need to see. So let's take a look here. For the S&P, still inside of this channel, but we are moving up right now, and I actually think there is good confluence that we've finished this correction. We could come down here to this 1236, so we could see this come down here back to the bottom of the channel. That would still be okay for me. As long as we don't see ourselves come all the way down here, down to 3,900, 3,905, I think we're okay. I think we're okay to see this continue to move up. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like 5 waves down. So we've got 3, 3, 5. Yeah, you could count this A, B, C, A, B, A, B, C, into the B, and then we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this looks like it could be complete, which means that we should be moving up from here. I am going to be looking to short on this side of 4,000. If you take a look at SPY, it's going to be on this side of 400. Remove a zero. So all in all, this still looks quite all right to be finishing this move up. It's again, it's very, it's kind of sideways, right? But that's great because in our Insured Plus, we're kind of trying out a new trading strategy, which has been very profitable, and that's basically we've been trading low volatility, and it's been working. It's been actually been working pretty good. But at any rate, this looks like a potentially completed correction. We could go back down to about 39.24, 39.23. So that's going to be 392, 393 for a move down. If we do see another move down, that's where I'm going to be looking for potentially getting a long. But ultimately, I really want to short that 4,000 test. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq again has been weaker. So what are we seeing here? All right, let's just put this into perspective. I was looking for a move down to 12,860. We didn't quite get there. So, we saw this move down. Let me go ahead and fix this now. We saw this move down, then we saw the move up. We saw that move up, then we see the move down. So this still is intact. I haven't really changed this. The only thing I've really changed is the points in which we hit. So for Nasdaq, again, it's been weaker. I still want to see it come down here and hit 12,864 before I really go long. S&P, this is just more of the same, right? S&P is moving up significantly right now, where Nasdaq is just kind of moving sideways. So it has been weaker. So for this, I think that we actually have one more move down. I think we're going to hit this. I was looking for, from a time perspective, right? We were measuring the amount of time it took for us to go up into wave one. We did this yesterday. How much time did it take for us to go from down here in this wave 4 to go up to wave 1? Now we're looking at this A, B, working on that C. I still think it's going to come down here. I still think it's going to come down here and hit this target, which is this 382 at 12,864. I think this wave 2 is going to hit, right? I was really kind of expecting it to come closer to the end of March. Maybe it comes sooner. I mean, maybe we're done. Maybe we're done correcting. But I tend to believe we're going to see ourselves come down just a little bit more, and then I'll be looking to get into maybe some TQQQ or something along those lines, something a little more conservative, because ultimately I'm really still more interested in shorting. Now, for Nasdaq, I'm really interested in shorting S&P. For Nasdaq, I do think that there is more significant upside potential, right? Because here's the high on Nasdaq at 13.9. We haven't gotten anywhere close to retesting that, whereas S&P, here was the high on S&P. We tested it, we went above it. We broke above it again yesterday, and now we're trying to retest it again. So S&P has been stronger than Nasdaq. So therefore, I'm not as interested in shorting Nasdaq as I am in shorting S&P, because S&P has been stronger where Nasdaq has been weaker. So money will rotate. So I'm going to be more interested in longing Nasdaq and then ultimately shorting S&P at some point. Nasdaq could have invalidated the big count. That's very possible. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at the larger count on Nasdaq. It's been a while since I have really dug into the bigger count on Nasdaq, but at any rate, it looks okay. So Elo, what you want me to take a look at CLSK? Let me go ahead and take a look at this guy. All right, so we had this pullback, and it came back to the 618. We had a good move up yesterday, and actually, is that yesterday or is that today that we saw that rise? So we've got right here, which is at the end of the day, and yeah, so this was the open right here. So we did have that good push up yesterday. I believe you caught this down here in these prices, and I think it may have actually been below 22 where you caught this, and that's looking pretty good. From this, I see the 3 hour looks pretty good. Let me move to an hourly chart so we can see the 1 hour and the 3 hour. Yeah, these were both actually in really good positions to be buying yesterday. So I think you had a good entry. Pulling back down here to the 618. If this works, if we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, it's a pretty steep and quick drawdown. But this could work, and I don't have any extended hours showing up in here. Of course, we had this big drop, and this all happened overnight. So this was the night, and then this is pre-market. So yeah, I mean, it was a big drop, but ultimately it still looks okay. I mean, I wouldn't get out of this trade at this point because, you know, we're trying to print, and actually as we're talking, it's going up, it's moving up, and I'm actually kind of interested in what Bitcoin is doing at this moment. But if we've got a 1-2, right? If this is a 1-2, let me just pull this back here, right? So we've got, you know, a pretty big impulse coming back to this move, which is the 236. You know, is this an ABC, a completion of the correction? Then we see the 1-2. If that's the case, I mean, we're at $24 right now. I mean, there's potential for this thing to move up about 3x from where we're at right now, for it to go up to potentially $100. It needs to break through 50, right? It needs to go through that 2x phase. It needs to break through 50, but there actually is potential for this to go up to $100. And you know, we've talked about you know, crazy predictions in the past, and you know, we were talking about, you know, even on the S&P and on Dow Jones, we were talking about some crazy predictions. If we were talking back in the 1940s and 1950s, if I were to say that we would see Dow Jones at 30, 40,000, you would think that I'm crazy. But you know, we've got an algo target up there. So let's just see if we take this trend-based fib extension. We go down here from the bottom. We see wave 1. We see this wave 2 pull back to the 618. Well, here's our first target that I was just saying. We got to get through 50. Well, there's that 1618 sitting right there, 54.77. Where's the 2618 sitting at? Right there. That target's sitting there at $97. Will it get to 100? More than likely, it'll test 100. So, I mean, would I buy now? I mean, obviously that the risk to reward is fantastic here, but the risk is a little too much for me to take right now because I didn't take it yesterday when you were talking about it. But this is a really great trade setup, and I would stick in this trade for a while if I were you. This is a special trade. This isn't one of our normal equity trades where we just hold for a short period of time and we take profit when we see profit. This is one that I would hold for a while. You know, getting leaps on this, probably pretty expensive, but that could work. You get like a 40, 50, maybe even a $60 leap on this, that could pay out pretty well. But at any rate, I still think it looks okay. You know, the waves indicator right here was a great buy, good move up. Waves indicator right here was a decent buy, had a good move up. And we actually had sell signals up here. You know, we saw up here it was kind of stalling out. It looked like a little bit of a bull flag, but it broke down pretty significantly. But at any rate, it looked like a good buy yesterday. I didn't take that buy. I would continue to hold that because as of right now, depending on where you got in, that's still up almost 11%. That was a good trade. I don't know if anybody in the Discord took it, but that would have been a good trade. So CLSK, it still looks good. Target of 95, yeah, that could work out as well. I mean, that would be a good place to get out because $100 is a pretty significant psychological level. So I would be getting out before that because more than likely you're going to have significant profit taking when you get up there. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And if this video did help in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you need access to our Discord, there's a link in the video description. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day.